All right, welcome back, girls.
Hiya.
Right. Thank you.
This is Secondhand Confessions. I forgot my name. What's my name? I'm Mickey.
I'm Pugly. It has been a while. And
And here's
Poppy's with us as
Poppy.
well.
Poppy forgot to introduce herself. Uh, we've been on a small hiatus.
But we're back and better than ever.
Hell yeah. So today I think Pugly has some stories for us. I'm going to read one. All right, so this is from the subreddit Best of Redditor Updates. And this person says, I, 17 female, have celiac disease. My new friend group, who are all between 16 and 22, girls and guys, think I'm anorexic and plan on having an intervention.
Hmm.
That sucks.
It does suck. Yes.
Okay, so there's some trigger warnings, discussion of eating disorders, and poisoning. Okay. So this post was originally posted in July of 2015. And she says, a little background. My parents divorced when I was very young. My mom got me for most of the year, and my dad got me for the summer. I hated going to my dad's house, partially because he was very stubborn and rude and always had to do things his way, but also because every time I went to my dad's house, I got violently sick. Nausea, rashes, pain, muscle cramps, and then when I got older, I'd start missing my periods. TMI. I went to a doctor. By the way, the TMI comment was not me. She said TMI. Just want to know. Okay, and then she goes on to say, I went to a doctor, but he said it was a psychosomatic problem related to stress and directed me to see a therapist. My dad didn't let me see a therapist because he thought it was total crap. My mom took me to one a few times, but by then my symptoms had cleared up, so we couldn't tell if it helped at all. One thing that really pissed me off was that my dad ate a lot of junk food and drank soda instead of water, and he mocked me mercilessly if I tried to eat healthy. I think it reminded him of my mom because she's always been a bit of a health nut. I would sneak carrots into the house, and if he found them, he'd throw them out. Wow, that is crazy. Can you imagine?
No.
Like, you're her dad.
I feel like my dad was begging me to eat carrots.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Mine literally put sugar on carrots so that we would eat them.
Mine were begging me like not to drink soda and to drink water instead.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Mhm.
like even juice. They would beg me to eat or drink juice instead of soda at least, and I wouldn't. Anyway, so she continues to say, at my mom's house, I'd eat vegetables and organic chicken. Sometimes a food would make me feel sick, but I'd just stop eating that food and it was fine. I got into the habit of turning down any food offered to me because I didn't know if it was safe. I just explained it away as being a picky eater. And then when I was 16, a new girl moved to my school. I became friends with her, and after a couple months, I noticed that she avoided all the same foods as me. I mentioned it in passing, like, hey, isn't that weird? And she got concerned and told me that she had celiac disease and I should get myself checked out. I got checked, and sure enough, I had it. Everything suddenly made sense. I was so excited to finally understand what was wrong that I told everybody I knew. I told all of the people who I thought were my friends, and they didn't really react well. They acted fine at first, but I noticed that they were all doing the slow fade on me. I confronted my closest friend about it, and she said that they all thought I was faking it for attention. Jeez, this is at 16 years old?
I don't know, I guess.
Yeah, she said she was 16, but like,
Okay.
I don't know. I guess people are mean in high school.
Yeah, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
people can be cruel for no reason.
Yeah. So they thought she was faking it, and they'd only heard about gluten-free diets as a stupid fad. I broke down crying and told her all about how horrible I felt when I had to go to my dad's house and how I couldn't believe that she didn't believe me, and she was horrified. She turned around and became my biggest supporter. She talked to the others, but they still thought I was full of shit and feeding her lies, so we decided it was best to break it off with them. That's a good friend.
Mm-hmm.
She says, my birthday is in August, so I had 2 more summers with my dad left to go through after I found out. He took the revelation about my disease even worse than my ex-friends. He would scream that I thought I was better than him and I was making up medical problems because I wanted to be special and that he wouldn't put up with that shit. I offered to take him with me to the doctor, but he said that doctors are scam artists and he didn't believe anything they said. It was horrible. It got to the point where he started sabotaging my food and cursing at me when I got sick. So I've gotten pretty wary about telling people about the disease. Between my personal experiences and hearing people make fun of gluten-free food on TV and the internet, I've decided I'm not comfortable with telling new people. I know that's cowardly, but I'm so afraid of what people will think of me. This is my last summer with my dad, and it's the last summer with my dad. He can rot in hell for all I care. He treats me like shit. I've only got to tough it out for another few weeks. That's not my problem. I can already hear your advice about leaving my dad's house or calling CPS, and respectfully, I've made my decision that it's easier just to stay for the next 3 weeks and then leave forever. Please don't focus on that part. This is the problem I need help with. My best friend and I have made a new group of friends. They're great people, really fun. We play role-playing games every weekend and have been hanging out since May. There's 10 or 11 of them depending on whether you count this guy who doesn't regularly attend games. My best friend approached me yesterday and told me that the rest of the group has been talking behind my back. They've put together the fact that I constantly turn down food and that I'm very picky about what I eat and that I've been getting thinner and acting sick because I've been living with my dad, and come to the conclusion that I have anorexia. They're planning on staging an intervention for me next weekend. Guys, I don't know what to do. This is such an awkward situation. I know I should tell them, but I'm so scared they're going to reject me. They've already got this idea in their heads about what's wrong. At this point, I'm afraid they'll think I'm just making excuses. And I've been burned before. I lost a ton of friends by telling them about my disease. Yeah, they were dicks, but it fucking hurt. How do I do this? How do I explain it so they'll believe me? I can't handle any more people calling me a liar. I'll have a mental breakdown. This disease has ruined my life in so many ways. I just wanted to have this one part of my life separate from that. Please, Reddit, give me advice.
This is a tough one because I didn't realize how stigmatized celiac disease was prior to reading this. I mean, I guess maybe in that time frame of the 2015, like it was a little more.
That's what I was going to say. Like 2015 is maybe different than now.
Yeah, it's more accepted now.
There's nothing to be embarrassed about, sweetie. You have tummy issues. That's okay.
Only hot girls have tummy issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I would immediately tell them and shut down the anorexia thing. Unless she might be a little anorexic. We don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe. I mean, it sounds like she's just rejected the foods that have caused her issues, but at least that's the story that we're getting here.
Mm-hmm. I wonder, like, if, I mean, she's really young. She's 17. And I think she thinks that her old friend group rejected her because she has celiacs, but they just rejected her because they're dicks.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, they thought she was making up that she had food sensitivities, so it wouldn't matter what she said. They're just dicks. So, like, if she really likes these friends and it seems like they're concerned about her, I don't know about an intervention for anorexia. I don't know if that's a good idea. But it seems like they're concerned about her and they're young. Maybe they're a little dumb. So I would, like you said, I would just go ahead and tell them.
Yeah, take the risk.
You guys know, like, this is why I don't eat all this food.
Shame on her dad for making her an insecure person when that should be someone who builds her up.
Mm-hmm.
Not that we all don't have daddy issues, but you know.
No, I couldn't believe reading that. Like, I'm like, why did her mom have a child with that man?
Maybe she didn't know what kind of man he was until they had kids.
Yeah.
Or they didn't even plan the pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
That too.
She said her parents divorced when she was very young. So, and then they immediately decided her dad would just get her for the summer. So, like, yeah.
Well, that sucked though. The part that she added about not wanting people to focus on the part about her dad being sort of not even neglectful, but almost even abusive in the sense of like encouraging or discouraging her from eating healthy foods and restricting her diet to things that are unhealthy.
Yeah, and she said, I think, that he would purposefully give her things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or ruin them. He would like mess with it.
Mm-hmm.
Poor thing.
Yeah, it says it got to the point where he started sabotaging my food and cursing at me when I got sick. That's rough. I'm never going to complain about my dad again. I love my dad. I love you, Dad.
You don't have daddy issues, though. You're one of the few.
Yeah. Meh. I don't know. I think I do. They're just not as big as my mommy issues.
We can come back to that another day.
How lucky are people who don't have either of those?
Maybe
I
they're
think
just orphans.
That's
I'm
another
dead.
problem.
I think having parents means you have parent issues, right?
Yeah.
Like even someone like I'm thinking of what was that show? It was like a Reese Witherspoon show.
Really?
The lady that was in Scandal, wasn't it? Kerry Washington. Is that her name?
Oh.
And it was her and her daughter, and they were really close. It seems like she's like a really great mom. I think single moms are probably like really good parents, or single parents in general, sorry. But like even them, like if they don't do a good job of like making sure they have a social life, I feel like.
Yeah, but if you're a child to a single mom, then you automatically have daddy issues.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
It's like
That's true.
that's it. You've been served. Daddy
That-
issues.
So true.
I don't know. Would you rather okay, so like think about it on the opposite end. Like this guy is making fun of his daughter for being too skinny and not eating and being too healthy, but it sucks even more. Well, I don't know. I can't relate to the being too skinny being made fun of for being too skinny. Think about the other side with all the girls that have to deal with their dads like making fun of them for eating too much or not putting the food down or, getting fluffy.
Mhm.
It sucks.
It really does. I think he is just an asshole. Maybe he like part of it, like the tiny bit, like eat more, is like concern, but he stops there and starts making fun of her and you know offers
Mhm.
her junk food. Like, come on, like junk food isn't the devil, but it's all you eat. You have a child. Like, come on.
Yeah. Are there any updates? Like did somebody say something to her?
Yes. So,
There's also a comment, though. So someone said, next RP session, I guess role-playing session,
mhm.
ask if you can talk to everyone before you start and say something like this. I want you all to know that I really value your friendship, so I want to share something important with you. Roughly 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with celiac disease, which is an autoimmune disorder that causes my body to react negatively to gluten. Unfortunately, my father is unable to properly accommodate me, so you may have noticed that I've been suffering some symptoms from my illness, which include weight loss. Please respect that this is something I prefer not to draw attention to in public settings or around people I am not close with. If you want more information about celiac, there are a bunch of useful websites and I can answer any questions you may have. What do you think about that response? Is that how you would frame
I
it?
think that ChatGPT wrote that.
Yeah.
This was in 2015, though.
Oh. Every time someone gives good advice, it's like or a good thing, a good way to communicate something on Reddit. I'm like, this is a great way to communicate it. Like you said exactly, you hit all the points, but it sounds like a robot. Yeah.
I don't even know. Was that response perfect? Like, do you think she should address the anorexia concerns and say, like, outright, like, no, I do not have?
No, like they didn't tell her they were gonna do it, so no harm, no foul. I think she should just be like, hey, you guys. I think she should just complain about her dad. Honestly,
Mm,
that's what I would
yeah.
do.
That's what friendships are for anyway.
Yeah.
Bitching about your dads.
She's still more embarrassed to share that she has celiac disease than people assuming that she's anorexic. Like she's more afraid to tell them the truth about having celiac disease than being embarrassed about being called anorexic.
Yeah, it's kind of a big deal now that you point that out. Why do you think that is? Do you think it's because she actually experienced like that when she was younger and like it stuck with her how terrible she felt when people made fun of her?
It sounds like she's reliving that experience of like her friends abandoning her after that first time she disclosed her
Yeah.
diagnosis.
versus if they were doing an intervention for her being anorexic, it's like they're not abandoning her. It's the opposite of abandonment.
Girls are mean.
Girls are mean.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the update. Yeah, sorry.
All right. So she updated 6 days later. And she said, "Hey guys, thank you for all your help. The intervention was yesterday, and I figured you guys would want to know how everything went." And then she details it to say, "A few hours before the game started, one of my friends, let's call him Zach, texted me asking to come to his house. He hosts the games early because he wanted to discuss gaming terms that will be nonsense to most of you guys." I figured this was probably the intervention and texted my best friend. I think there was some confusion in the last post. This is the friend who was with my other friend group who I poured my heart out to. Then she followed me to the new group. Let's call her Laura. I texted her to ask if she's been invited too. She hadn't, so I asked her to come with me. Before I went to his house, I did something a little cheeky, inspired by one of the comments on the last post. I went and picked up some gluten-free Chinese food from a place I frequent. They have this amazing vegetable fried rice that I've fallen in love with. They're really careful about cross-contamination. I've been eating there for years and never gotten sick. I brought the food with me to Zach's house, along with Laura and my notebooks and dice for role-playing. Zach seemed really taken aback that Laura was there. I asked him if he had a problem with it, because if we were going to talk about complicated gaming things, then she should be part of the conversation because of qualifications. Ugh, I'm really sorry. I'm trying not to drop a crap ton of gaming jargon on y'all. LOL. We don't need to know. He awkwardly said that it was fine. Then I said something like, "Is it all right if I eat something while we do this? I missed lunch and I'm really hungry," and pulled out the Chinese food. He said it was fine, but seemed kind of alarmed, like I was freaking him out. I started eating and he started his pitch. He said to me, "I didn't actually call you here to talk about gaming. Me and some of the others have noticed some things recently that we're concerned about, and they elected me to talk to you about it." I said, "Okay." He listed off a bunch of things that I've been doing that made them worry about me. The way they never saw me eat anything, that I always seemed sick and was getting thinner, the fact that I always seemed uncomfortable and nervous when the topic of food came up, that I turned down everything offered to me. And then he finally dropped the bombshell. "Michael's older sister is anorexic, and she acts a lot like you do. We think you might be anorexic." I swallowed my food and tried not to look nervous. "I'm not," I told him. He started talking about how nobody thinks they're anorexic, but there's clearly something going on with me. And he started just rambling, so I cut him off.
That's actually, just to clarify, in the new DSM or in the latest DSM, you can have an awareness of your or insight into your own diagnosis and still be anorexic.
Yeah, I never thought that you didn't have to know.
I think a lot of times that is the case, but yeah, there's, I guess, a growing number of cases where there is insight. But anyway, sorry to interrupt.
I do have a question. If someone, okay, let's say someone's self-aware that they're anorexic, does that also mean that they have body dysmorphia?
No, those are separate.
Mm.
Body dysmorphia is like usually a fixation on a very specific part of the body, like the nose or some element of the face, like the cheek or something, and thinking that that's like out of proportion or discolored or, disfigured in some way. Whereas anorexia is restrictive eating.
So anorexia is a behavior, and and body dysmorphia is a perception.
Although it can lead to behaviors of like checking the mirror a lot.
Yeah, but like you can have body dysmorphia and think you're, like, let's say, bigger than you are, and that causes you, or you react by becoming anorexic.
Sometimes people like with anorexia, and I guess I'm basing this off of like stories or movies, I don't know, but I thought like an anorexic person looks into the mirror and thinks that they're like huge.
Yeah.
And so that's why they're anorexic.
I think that would still be under the umbrella of the anorexia, but I could be wrong. Maybe it is body dysmorphia with a fixation specifically on the stomach area, although that just seems redundant to have that diagnosis and then also anorexia. But I don't know. Eating disorders are like a very specialist kind of area.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, She said he started rambling, so I cut him off. I do have a problem. It's not anorexia. Can I talk? she, she said, "Can I talk? Can you shut up?"
Can you just shut up for me? Give me a minute.
He reluctantly agreed. I think he was afraid I was going to say that I was too fat and my problem was that I needed to lose weight or something. Like he really got committed to the idea that I was anorexic. I'm going to try to paraphrase what I said here because I was very proud of myself for it. I know I'm losing weight in an unhealthy way, but it's not on purpose. I have a disease that means I can't eat grains like wheat, barley, and rye. When I do, I get very sick, and my body starts ripping up my stomach, and I can't digest much of anything, even things that don't have those grains in them. It's not just an allergy, it does serious long term damage to me. If I ate a piece of bread, I would break out in rashes, I'd start throwing up, and I might get stuff that seems unrelated, like horrible muscle cramps. When I turn down food, it's because you guys offer me stuff like Doritos and PB&Js. If I ate that stuff, it would make me violently ill. I turn it down to keep from making my health problems even worse. And the reason my symptoms have been popping up and I've been getting sick and losing weight is that right now, I'm living in a family situation where I'm forced to eat the foods that my body reacts badly to. When I first met you guys, I was living with my mom, and she accommodated me really well. But right now, I'm living with my dad, and he sabotages my food because he thinks I'm making my disease up and that my doctor is a fraud. Zach took out actual note cards and looked through them. He literally had a script for the intervention.
Oh my God.
This is so cute. Is it 2015? She was 17, so like she's almost our age, right?
No, in 2015, we were not 17.
We were like 19. Okay. So he took out the actual note cards and looked through them. He literally had a script for the intervention. That's what I get for hanging out with the kind of dramatic people who play tabletop RPGs, I guess. He was quiet for a really long time. Then he had a few questions. But then why do you turn down like Coke? She says, because Coke is nasty, but I didn't want to complain and make you guys buy root beer just for me. The second question was, why didn't you just tell us this stuff? The girl says, Laura took this one and explained what happened with our last friend group. His third question was, okay, so like, what would I probably have in the house right now that you'd be willing to eat in front of me? I wanted to facepalm at this one. I asked if he was serious. He was.
Didn't she already bring the Chinese food?
Yeah. She said, I don't know. Have you got celery? He shook his head. She said, yogurt? Nope. An apple? Nope.
What?
Seriously? He nodded. Have you got some freaking popcorn? Like air popped popcorn? That he did have. So I ate some popcorn in front of him, and he finally seemed to accept what I was saying.
That ain't the food that would convince me because that's not very filling at all.
Yeah.
But whatever.
He awkwardly changed the subject to gaming things, and we talked about that until the rest of the group started to show up. When Michael got there, Zach took him aside and started talking to him in a way that I guess they thought was subtle. They kept looking over at me, and they weren't keeping their voices down really well. Michael asked if I seemed defensive, and Zach shrugged and said, not really. I pointedly ate popcorn for the rest of the game. Michael texted me after the game and apologized for assuming that I was anorexic and asked what snacks they could put out for me. I actually cried a little bit. I was worried about getting kicked out, but they moved immediately to accommodating me. They're nice people. So everything worked out fine. Sorry for the anticlimax.
That's it?
That's it. It really was an anticlimax.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, that was a cute story.
Mm-hmm.
I like that her friendships are improving.
Oh, yeah. And it's nice that she has that girl, Laura, whatever her name is.
Yeah, Laura.
Who's like part of that past friend group, but stayed with her. She stuck with her. and kind of showed her like what loyalty is and what like a true friend is.
If those people knew that they were good, like good friends, why didn't one of them just ask Laura, like, hey, is she okay?
I don't know.
Why did we have to go from 0 to intervention?
Yeah. Maybe Laura wasn't sure.
True.
I don't think they asked Laura.
No, maybe they didn't. I didn't really follow fully the story, but she may not have included that detail in there. She may not know if they asked Laura.
No, I really think they didn't ask Laura.
Okay.
Yeah.
They didn't ask her.
Yeah. I think they she's like, this is mainly her friend group and Laura is like joining her in the friend group.
I see.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But
Someone made the same point that I made in the comments.
what?
They said, "Yay, great job. It's so funny that they made you eat popcorn even though you'd been eating takeout. They do sound very sweet and well-meaning, if a bit presumptuous and dramatic." I think that's a pretty spot-on comment.
Yeah. I'm still not over her dad. I'm still not over her dad being such a cruel guy.
He wouldn't even buy her the food. He wouldn't even buy her the food that she needed. He would just watch her suffer.
Yeah. That's really sad. Like her teenage friends are nicer, like are kinder to her than her dad or more considerate.
Yeah. Yeah, I wondered if there was like a socioeconomic kind of reasons for maybe why he's choosing the foods he's going towards, but
I mean, maybe there is, but like that's not an excuse for making fun of her or like being like invalidating her or being like you're crazy.
yeah.
The doctor's a liar.
Yeah. I don't know, when you get in that headspace, like when people convince you of or like the world around you has convinced you that like everything is fake and like everything's trying to kill you and like you should just eat the junk food or whatever. Is it her dad's fault at that point?
That he's been corrupted?
Yeah, like that he like thinks this way. Maybe he's just too dumb.
But a good dad could have his own beliefs, but still like not treat his daughter like that, no matter,
Yeah.
like, so.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah, I hope the situation with the dad is rectified now, whether for the best, if it means like her just leaving that situation entirely, which it sounds like was the plan, or whatever. But yeah.
Yeah.
I bet her dad loves Donald Trump.
I know. I was thinking that too. I didn't want to say it out loud because I didn't want to get political here, but yeah. The conspiracy theories galore.
I would bet like everything I own on that. I don't think that's a theory. That's like a surety.
I'm talking about his conspiracy theories.
Oh. Yes.
Yeah. Definitely. We got a Trump voter on our hands.
Much love to our
no
Trump supporter.
No love.
You are welcome. All are welcome.
We do not have unconditional love for everybody.
Well, send in your confessions. We'd love to hear them.
Do send your confessions in. If you voted for Trump, send that confession in. We'd love to hear it. Although you're probably not listening anymore because we just expressed some disgust for you.
I didn't express
I did.
Anything. I didn't say shit.
Anything.
Pugly has disgust for you if you voted for Trump. It's now been solidified.
Pugly's a never Trumper.
We do have another story here. Would we like to take this one on?
Yeah.
This one is, my 44 female disabled husband, who's 48 male, wants me to have an open pass in our marriage now. Any advice?
Girl.
This was posted this year in September in the relationship advice subreddit. You guys ready to dive in?
I just want to make sure I heard this right. He wants her to have an open pass?
Yes, he is disabled and he wants her to have an open pass in their marriage.
Oh, I didn't hear the disabled part. See, everything you just said minus the disabled part, I was like,
Yeah. Icky.
Yeah, it's giving what is it called when they have a kink for like watching your partner have sex with someone else?
oh, that's so bad.
I forget the name of it, but yeah, that it's giving that.
Yeah.
Cuckolding.
Yes, cuckolding.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's giving cuckold energy without the disabled element.
A little
Yes.
cuckoloni.
A cuckoloni.
Uh,
Oh God. Okay, but it's
Fun.
not this. It's not this. He's trying. Okay, what kind of disabled? Is he in a wheelchair? Do things
Let's find out.
okay.
All right, let's dive in. My husband and I have been together for a decade. Shortly before we got married 7 years ago, he was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. In the years since, there has been a slow decline in his fine motor skills, vision, and strength in his legs. In the last 2 years, these things have added up and made our sex life decline. This doesn't bother me, as I know it is something neither of us can control. I didn't realize just how much it was starting to bother him until this past weekend. He informed me that he wants to date and sleep with whomever I wish. He wants me to date and sleep with whomever I wish. That as long as I am in our bed at night, am honest with him and protect myself, he is okay with it. Needless to say, I am shocked. I never thought about this situation and I don't know what to do or think. I've tried to reassure him that I want him, not some stranger I just met. I'm not sure what to do. Does anyone have any ideas?
I do.
Aw.
I do have an idea.
Immediately, she was ready. Her hand was raised.
No, she should not do it. She should not do it. There are things that you can purchase that will be delivered to your front door with all the privacy that you need. You do not need another human for certain things.
She can handle herself.
Yes,
Mm-hmm. And he can even like partake.
He can help in his own capacity.
he can watch. He
He
can
can
watch
watch.
if he wants.
Yeah.
He can cuckold.
He can.
No, that's exactly not what we're saying.
He can cuckold the masturbation session.
Oh. Oh no. We're going to hell.
I'm not.
I'm not.
Mickey's laughing because she knows I'm going straight to hell.
That's not why she's laughing.
We're all going to hell, ladies.
Okay. Well, I'll
Even
see y'all
Craig.
there.
Craig is coming too.
Craig.
For those that don't know, Craig is our recording software that we use to record these sessions here on Secondhand Confessions.
I love when you throw the name out.
I just got to throw it out because I said sessions and I wanted it to rhyme. So
Nice. What do you guys think? You think that she should do it? Is that a nice offer?
I think that she should. I think she should tell him that that's very thoughtful of him, that he's considering her, and it's like it makes her feel really nice that he's thinking about her and her pleasure. I mean, obviously, she hasn't even said what she wants, first of all. She didn't say in the
Mhm.
post what she wants. Like,
yeah,
maybe
she's
she
not coming
does.
to him saying, "Hey, I'm begging to like get it
Yeah.
on with someone else."
No. But like, did the idea spark a thought in her mind? Like, maybe, maybe she does want that. And if he really is okay with it, cool, maybe they can figure something out. But me as like what I would do is exactly what you just said, Poppy. But yeah, I would tell him like that's very thoughtful that you're thinking of me, but you're really the only person who turns me on, like, or you're the only. Okay, sorry, you're the only
Yeah,
person
let's
I
back
want. Let's not lie. You're the only person I want to be intimate with,
Mm-hmm.
and I think we can spice things up. But I'll have that on the back burner. If I ever feel that way, I'll come back to you and let you know. But like, I think we should just spice things up like in a different way. Like, try something new.
Right. He's
Yeah.
probably in a little mental block now. Like, both brains are not meeting up with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to keep it PG.
We know what you mean.
Covering her eyes in a secondhand embarrassment, actually. It's what this place should be called.
Yes. Yeah.
Most of the time with the things that these people want to put out on the internet.
I mean, listen. Maybe in like, I don't know, 5 years or something, she changes her mind and she's like, it's really dry up here. What do you guys think she should do then?
No.
Till death do us part?
Yes.
Or divorce do us part.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
rough.
but she should never leave him in that state.
As he's dying.
She shouldn't leave him in that state, you say?
No. If he is still good to her, if he's still mentally there and good to her, there is no reason for her to betray him like that.
But what if she's just not being fulfilled?
There are other ways.
Not sexually. I mean, like, generally in the relationship.
Then she should divorce it. I don't know. This is too hard. I don't know.
Okay, let me look up over time what it looks like, because I think
It's progressive.
yeah.
I did get a
So-
ChatGPT definition of MS. And it
Mhm.
says multiple sclerosis is a chronic autoimmune disease that affects the central nervous system, which includes the brain and spinal cord. In MS, the immune system mistakenly attacks the protective covering of nerve fibers known as myelin. This damage disrupts the communication between the brain and the rest of the body, leading to a wide range of neurological symptoms.
Okay,
Now, I
what's
don't
the
have-
prognosis over time?
Okay, let me quickly get that answer for you.
Sorry.
There are great drugs out these days that can really slow it down, though.
I thought
Really?
you were about to say like Viagra.
It's a chronic, unpredictable disease with a wide range of long-term outcomes. Prognosis varies significantly from person to person and depends on factors like the type of MS, age at onset, initial symptoms, treatment options, and the individual's response to treatment. Here's a breakdown of some of the general trends in MS prognosis. There are types of MS and their course, which we don't need to get into, long-term disability and quality of life. Over the course of the disease, many individuals experience progressive physical disability. However, some people retain relatively good function with only minor disability 15 to 20 years after diagnosis, while others may require assistive devices within that time frame. There's also cognitive impairments and mental health considerations to factor into this. There's also factors associated with better prognosis include early diagnosis and treatment, younger age at onset. Interesting. I would have thought that would be the opposite.
Maybe younger age at onset means you have a milder form.
Maybe. It says it's associated with a slower progression. Less frequent relapses and minimal disability early on are also factors associated with better prognosis.
So, okay, like we don't really know, basically, is the answer.
The life expectancy for people with MS is about 7 to 14 years shorter than the general population.
Oh. That's not as short as I would have thought.
Yeah, I would have thought it would be shorter. Is that what you're saying?
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, okay.
14 years, though, that is a lot, actually.
Yeah, but I thought it would be like 30 years or something.
Okay. I don't know where I thought it would be, actually.
Okay, so not saying I would leave him. Obviously, I'm not married, so I have no idea what that's like. But, like, what if the last, like, 20, 30 years of your life, you don't really fully have a companion there? Let's just pretend it's not MS. Let's pretend it's somebody who's, like, disabled. Like, I don't know, Alzheimer's. Not fully there. You're just their caretaker.
Mm-hmm.
Even in that case, Poppy, you wouldn't, like, get a divorce but still take care of them, like, still be their caretaker.
But there's a difference because they're not fully mentally there.
Yeah, that's the
When
difference.
someone is mentally, like, understands everything that's going on
Mm-hmm.
and can feel the betrayal, that's when it matters.
Yeah.
Well, it does say that cognitive impairments can play a role, such as memory issues, attention deficits, and slowed processing speed.
Well,
And
but
he
that's
could
not the same.
progress that way, unfortunately. He
Mhm.
could have progressed that way. But right now, he seems okay with me if he's given her a hall pass.
Yeah.
Maybe, but maybe this is part of the cognition declining.
No, I think it's very sweet of him to think of her.
I think it's a sacrifice that he doesn't need to make.
Mhm.
Like, I don't even know why he proposed it, because is she saying she's not being fulfilled, or is he just projecting that onto her?
I don't think she said, she didn't say that, at least, but I think it's kind of like what Poppy was saying, of maybe it's getting to him, or maybe he's feeling bad about his
Like the
position
change in
and
their sex life.
and like he wants, he feels like he promised her a full marriage, and he's not giving her a part of that. So maybe
But that's what
part of it.
marriage is, this unpredictability of like, random shit happening to both of you, and you have to navigate it together.
But what is the percentage of like men that leave their wives when they get cancer?
True. Let me ask ChatGPT.
Wow. Percent of men leaving their wives when the man gets cancer?
No, when the woman gets cancer.
No.
It's like a high number.
21% when the wife was the patient, compared to 3% when the husband was the patient.
Can you believe?
Can you believe? Almost a quarter of marriages end when the wife gets cancer.
Yeah. Wow. Like, and it's seven times more likely for the man to leave the woman when she gets sick versus the woman leaving the man. I think it's like that's the only thing that's missing for me, is that she never said what she wants.
Mm-hmm.
And she never said what, if she's ever mentioned to him like
Well,
that
she
she's
did say.
unhappy.
She did say. She said, I don't know what to do or think. I've tried to reassure him that I want him, not some stranger I just met.
Mm-hmm.
But what if she meets somebody
Yeah.
that's not a stranger?
What if you get a boyfriend?
Or someone they know.
Yeah.
Complicates the picture.
Yeah. But okay. Like, how is this different from like having an open marriage?
Mm-hmm. Because he's not partaking in it.
Yeah.
No, yeah. But an open marriage doesn't necessarily mean that you partake in both of y'all's. Like, it doesn't mean both of them have to partake.
I think
I
if
don't agree with
only
any of
one
it.
person gets to open the marriage, I'm not personally, I don't think I could do an open relationship at all. But if only one person gets that benefit, then that's fucked up.
And then if you get the benefit one time, it's called a hall pass.
Mhm.
Wait, so is it a one time that he's offering her, or
He never said hall. She never said hall pass. I'm just.
An open pass is what she described it as.
as in like
Oh, so a season pass.
A season pass. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Space Mountain.
Ooh. That's unfortunate. I hope he feels better.
He says he wants her to date and sleep with whomever I wish. So she gets to go on dates too? What the hell? This guy is really setting himself like up in a shitty situation.
What if he wants out?
Maybe.
Ooh,
Maybe this is his way. But why would he?
that's not something we considered.
Yeah.
No man in love is going to give up his woman like that. Dates?
Dates? Really?
So he is a cut. I'm just kidding. I'm so sorry, God. I'm so sorry. Don't take me too serious.
Yeah. Well, the best and top comments were couples therapy. I can only assume he may be coping with the idea that he can't provide to you what he thinks you may be needing, or maybe what he wishes he could give you.
Yeah.
Then someone says, just tell him that you are already sleeping with whoever you wish.
Oh.
No.
As in, him.
Oh.
It took y'all a second or so.
I mean, I didn't get there by myself. You had to literally explain it. I was like, why would you trick him like that?
Yeah, the expression gave away that I was like, I needed to come in, tag team this.
To rescue me. Help, rescue me. I thought they were trying to say like, oh yeah, just tell him you're already doing that, and then whatever his reaction is, you can be like, see, you wouldn't like it.
Oh, that's a good one too. I like that.
Yeah.
What if he's like, oh, good for you?
No, because he didn't approve of it before. Why would that would be his reaction?
Immediately divorce.
Yeah, really. Immediate divorce.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've talked about jealousy before and how there is such a thing as a healthy amount of jealousy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, people who are, into the whole polycule open relationship thing, polyamorism, probably would say that maybe jealousy is not good, but I believe as someone who is what is it called? Monogamous?
Monogamous.
Monogamous person. I believe like that's just the nature of monogamous relationships is there should be a small healthy amount of jealousy.
Well, let me just ask those polyamorous people, are they cuckolding their partner's relations with other people? Or
Ooh.
yeah, if they're not jealous, why do they not want to see it?
Mm-hmm.
They have some level of jealousy. Everybody does.
Yeah. I don't know. Because I think a lot of people are I think you mentioned this like they're selfish when they do polyamory like I want to sleep around but not you like when you do it it's like ooh I don't like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would consider that to be jealousy.
Yes.
Yeah, there's no way you can't feel even just an ounce of jealousy.
Yeah.
It's human.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Well,
It's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Eve and maybe Steve and maybe also
that was cute though. Adam and Eve, not Adam and Eve and Steve.
and maybe Steve.
I like that.
Steve is for Adam but not for Eve.
Yeah.
And David and Goliath.
Wow.
We're just bringing the
Very-
Bible in here.
Very biblical.
Very biblical. Polycule.
But yeah. I mean, it was kind of a polycule back then. There was like 5 people on Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, no, even if you don't believe in creationism at all and you believe in evolution, like at some point there was only like a couple of humans on Earth.
Mm-hmm. But not in the biblical times, I don't think.
I mean, maybe they were the same times. Like, I had an argument with my ex about this, actually, that I believe in both creationism and evolution. And he was like, how? How can you possibly believe in both of those things? And I was like, I don't know, I just do. Like, I don't understand.
And I bet he was like Occam's razor.
I think he actually said Occam's razor. I think
I
like
bet he
literally.
did. I bet he did
Yeah.
because he loves all the razors.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's like whatever theory has the least stipulations to it or like has the least arguments to it is the theory you should select when you have competing theories. So like basically the simplest theory is the one that should prevail.
I mean, he said Occam's razor about something, but I don't think it was that specific argument. But that argument, I think he said like we literally have evidence of evolution, and I was like, didn't say I don't believe in evolution. I just
Yeah, you literally said you believe in it.
yeah. He's like, you can't possibly believe in both. I'm like, well, I do. There are problems in his brain.
Many.
There are problems in his brain.
Many worms.
Whatever's left in that head.
Should we stop recording, by the way? Should we exit? Or in the secondhand confessions?
Yeah.
Yeah. What were we saying about it?
She should stay loyal and he should try his best.
Oh, okay. That's kind of a sad reality.
No, really, like there's ways. I think he should look this up. Like I'm sure maybe he has, but like there's
Yeah.
probably like some kind of support group stuff or
Occupational
forums.
therapy could be a good option as well.
Ooh.
I think they have different trainings for sexual compatibility when disability is in the
Yeah.
situation as well.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That would hurt my pride. But I hope that he's a stronger man than me.
Well, I mean, he's already making it what seems to be even harder than just accepting help with, their sexual
Yeah.
relationship of like asking her to go out with other people. That would hurt me more than saying, okay, let's like go to OT.
Yeah. Because it would kind of make you feel like he doesn't like trust that I love him or that I'm that loyal or whatever, or
Yeah. Or that he's enough.
that he's enough. I mean, I don't know that necessarily means that, but yeah, I can see why she would take it that way. Or she could take it that way. Anyway, good luck to this couple.
Yeah.
I hope they get it on.
Yeah.
Hopefully they purchase some toys and assistive devices that'll help them make it a worthwhile experience.
Yeah, baby, it's 2024.
I hope everything goes up.
Yeah. Yeah, including that boner.
The way Pugly with one drink, including that
I
boner.
thought that's what she was getting at anyway.
Yeah, she was.
I just didn't want to say boner.
Well, I'm here to do that for you.
Love. That's what friends are for.
That was a really
Yeah.
good one.
I'll go to hell for you guys, okay? I'll say what you're thinking.
Boner.
Oh, you're going to hell with me, Mickey.
Might as well.
I'm glad we ended with that one.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys for listening to Secondhand Confessions. We'd love to hear your confessions. What do you guys think about this situation? What should she do? All right. We're out.
Bye.
All right, peace out.
Bye.